Hey, what's going on, everyone? Fernando here with Secrets of the Crypto, and tonight I wanted to talk a little bit about mining. This is my second video tonight. I just posted another video about BitConnect, but I haven't posted videos in a while, so I had a lot of thoughts that I wanted to get out there, and while I'm in the groove, I thought I'd go ahead and just pump out as much information as I could. I've recently started mining about a month and a half ago. I built my first Ethereum rig. I am now I actually just got all the parts and necessary items that I needed to build my second rig, which is going to be an 8 GPU rig with 1050 Ti's. And if all of that sounds like a bunch of gibberish, it's okay. Maybe again, I do plan on doing more concise videos that maybe explain the dichotomy of, I don't even know if that's the right word. But anyways, analyzing the mining process a little bit further, because I have learned a lot and I do want to share some of that information. But for this particular video, I wanted to talk a little bit about cloud mining and how it compares to what I'm going to call hardware mining. So for those of you that are familiar, or maybe you've come across it, there's these services out there that like Hashflare and Genesis, which they refer to themselves as cloud mining services. And essentially what you do is you purchase a 2-year contract, and they essentially lease you their servers that you're going to use to mine whatever particular coin it is that you're going to mine. It's become very popular on the internet, specifically with certain individuals. And to kind of tie this into my last video, individuals who were pushing lending platforms, like BitConnect or Devor, which again, just as throwing this out there to the caution, if you're not familiar with those lending platforms, they're essentially Ponzi schemes. Cloud mining isn't necessarily a Ponzi scheme, and I'm not even going to call it a scam, because it's not necessarily a scam. But it is a very, very high risk investment, and it's very risky for one, because you're locked into a 2-year period, whenever you buy that contract, and a lot of it is going to be, your profitability during that time frame is going to be based on how profitable the cryptocurrency that you're mining becomes. So if it dips and it crashes, during that 1 to 2 year period, you're going to lose out money on that, or you're going to be sitting on this, you're going to have your money tied up into something that's not profitable. That's the first thing to keep in mind. The second major negative to it is that, the fundamentals about cryptocurrency is essentially to keep everything decentralized, right? And one of the big red flags or issues that I have with cloud mining is that, and it's happened before, what if the company disappears? How do you know they actually have physical servers that are mining your particular coin that you're looking to mine? How do you know it's not a Ponzi scheme, right? These are a lot of the issues that I see with cloud mining, and in a lot of ways, I think a lot of the crowd that it has attracted are the people that are just looking for easy money. And I'm a firm believer that there is no such thing as easy money. You have to work for it one way or the other. And so the alternative to cloud mining is essentially hardware mining. And I don't know if that's even the right word. I think I'm just making up terms at this point, but that's what I'm going to refer to it as. And that's when you have the actual server or GPUs that you're using to mine the coin. And that's what I do. I'm into hardware mining. When I first got into this, I did my research. I looked into cloud mining and I looked into hardware mining, and I have a server background. I own and operate a web development and web hosting company, so we have our own servers. So I'm kind of familiar with that aspect a little bit, and I could really relate to a lot of the I don't want to say issues, but a lot of the roadblocks I encountered and the learning process I encountered with web hosting, in terms of how I had to scale that out and get the proper hardware to support a certain amount of websites per server. I could really relate to that whole process in in what I had to go through with setting up my first rig and learning what kind of hardware I should purchase and whatnot. So uh, you know, if you're gonna be mining, my suggestion, again, this isn't financial advice, make your own decisions. My advice would be stay far, far away from cloud mining. If you're looking for passive income, look into hardware mining because that's essentially what it is. It's like there is going to be a huge steep learning curve, but I do believe that anybody can do it if you have the time and you commit yourself to it, right? Again, there is no such thing as easy money. It took me like, and I don't want to say I'm pretty seasoned, but I guess I kind of am. But it took me, about a good 24 hours to get my first rig up and running, like straight. Like I was like focused. I was determined. This next rig, I think it's probably going to take me about an hour or two to get up and running, and the next one after that is probably going to take even quicker, So there's that initial time investment in learning what you're doing, and you're going to run into issues and whatnot. But in my opinion, hardware mining, if you're looking to get into mining, is the way to go. And it's a lot safer of an investment in a sense that you own the hardware. So, for me, I look at it, right, if I do a a cloud mining contract and the company disappears, I'm SOL. Like I have nothing to show for it other than, whatever coins I was able to manage during that particular time frame. But if I have like a 2-year contract and it's going to take me a year to get profitable and the company disappears, month 3, I lost out on a lot, right? The alternative to that is, so with hard mining, you're essentially buying computer parts. You're going to buy GPUs, which are very popular right now. And that's one of the big roadblocks to getting into hardware mining is finding the actual GPUs. But the GPUs that I bought last month for my first Ethereum rig, they're worth twice as much now. Like I can easily just dismantle my rig and just sell just the GPUs, none of the other parts, and make a huge profit times 2 of what I spent on those GPUs. So like there's a market in that in itself. But other than that, like the GPUs are valuable because there's such a short supply of them right now on the net. That if I wanted to, I could just buy the GPUs and then resell them at a markup, and people would buy them. Just gamers and people who are legit just going to use the GPU just to play online games and so forth. So there's value in the hardware, and that stuff doesn't depreciate as quickly as you think. Sure, maybe like 2 years from now, am I going to be able to resell a lot of this hardware? No, but all of the rigs that I've set up and I'm setting up, I am budgeting so that they have a return on investment within 6 months. So within those first 6 months, I'm going to break even, and then everything beyond that point, I'm making profit. So, and as a safeguard to that, even if cryptocurrency, and I don't think it is, going to go away anytime soon. I'm a firm, deep believer in cryptocurrency. It's going to be around for years and years and years and years. If it, for whatever reason, disappeared tomorrow, I still have the hardware. I can resell all of that and, probably make most of my money back, because it's valuable. It's something that you use every day. There's a motherboard, a computer motherboard. There's power supplies that are used for computers. They're very useful. It's useful hardware. It's not mining specific hardware, So that's my advice. If you're looking to get into mining, look into hardware mining. Don't get duped into any more of these or any of these get rich quick schemes or easy money schemes, which in my opinion, that's the impression I get with cloud mining. I see a lot of younger people or people that maybe just don't have any kind of tech experience looking at that as an opportunity to make easy money. Like, hey, all I have to do is deposit $5,000 and I'm going to get paid X amount of money every day. Doesn't work that way, or I mean, it does work that way, but when the company disappears or it gets hacked and you lose everything, it's like, you can't really blame anybody but yourself, because those things have happened and they're going to continue to happen. Whereas with mining, hardware mining, you're kind of a little bit protected in that, and with some of the things I just mentioned. So if you're looking to get into mining, look into hardware mining. which I think still is a very good time to get into if you can find the hardware. That's the big roadblock, and I'll do a separate video for that. Maybe not tonight, but I will do that eventually. But until then, if you're thinking about mining, or if you happen to be a part of that whole BitConnect mess, and now you're looking for a place to invest your money into, look into hardware mining. Do not do cloud mining. That's my suggestion. Again, I don't give financial advice. Make your own decisions. And with that, I'm out. Have a good night.